Day 2. A business meeting with God. I used to plan everything, every goal, every move, every step. I would sit down with my notebook, write everything out. What I wanted my life to look like, what I wanted my business to become, how I was going to get there. And then, after all of that, I would go to God and say, God, please bless this. Not realizing I was asking God to approve a plan He never gave me. And maybe that's why I felt stuck sometimes. Maybe that's why things felt heavy. Maybe that's why I was working so hard but still feeling uncertain. I was building without direction. But today, I did something different. I didn't start with my plans. I started with God. No rushing, no distractions, no pressure. Just me, my notebook, and His presence. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't speak first. I listened. Because sometimes we are so busy asking God to do things for us that we never pause long enough to hear what He wants to do through us. And that changes everything. Because the Bible says in Proverbs 3:5-6, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight. And that part hit me differently today. In all your ways. Not just your spiritual life, not just when things are going wrong, but your decisions, your finances, your business, your future, everything. And I realized I've been leaning on my own understanding, trying to figure it out, trying to control the outcome, trying to make things happen in my own strength. And honestly, it's exhausting. Because when you rely on your own understanding, you carry pressure that was never meant for you. But when you trust God, you exchange pressure for peace. And that's what I felt today. Peace. Not because I suddenly had all the answers, but because I knew I don't have to. God does. So today, I had what I'm calling a business meeting with God. And I brought everything to Him. My ideas, my goals, my fears, my next steps. Not to present them, but to surrender them. Because there's a difference. One is saying, God, here's what I want to do. The other is saying, God, what do you want me to do? And bestie, that question will change your life. Because sometimes we are chasing things God never told us to pursue. Sometimes we are forcing doors God never opened. Sometimes we are stressed about timelines God never gave us. And then we wonder why we feel stuck. But when you sit with God first, He brings clarity. He brings direction. He brings alignment. And alignment will take you further than hustle ever will. Let me say that again. Alignment will take you further than hustle ever will. Because you can work hard on the wrong thing and still feel lost. But when you are aligned with God, even small steps move you forward. Even quiet seasons have purpose. Even delays make sense. Because you know God is leading. And when God leads, you don't have to force anything. You don't have to chase everything. You don't have to panic about everything. You just have to stay obedient. And that's what I'm learning in this season. To slow down, to listen, to trust, to let God lead the strategy, not just bless the outcome. So if you're watching this and you feel stuck or overwhelmed or unsure about your next move, I want to encourage you today. Before your next decision, before your next plan, before your next step, pause. Sit with God. Not for a rushed prayer, but for a real moment. Bring your notebook. Write things down. Be honest. And then be still. Because God is not silent. We're just often too busy to hear Him. And when you make space for Him, you realize something powerful. You were never meant to figure this life out alone. You have access to divine direction every single day. So today, day 2, I'm choosing alignment over hustle. I'm choosing peace over pressure. I'm choosing God over my own understanding.